AFC South. So I think.
There's a history in this league.
Brought him up.
That's an example.
So
I didn't want to make
finish
him
this.
the subject.
For those who believe, for those who are ready.
You have no idea what song
I
it is.
have no idea which one it is.
It's a hot song right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back on another episode of the Doug Sarabia Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. So this is a pre-recorded episode. It is Thursday, May 1st. Johnny Boy and I, we're in Texas.
Yes, we are, though.
It's probably like the 7th inning at the Texas Ranger game that we're going to.
Yes.
Friday they're playing Seattle.
And then Thursday they are playing the Athletics.
Oh, maybe we'll see Sevy.
Yes.
We're going to see Sevy?
Maybe. We're missing DeGrom by 1 day.
Damn. Tough, but what can we do?
Yeah, he's going Wednesday.
Who are they playing? Oh, Oakland? I mean,
Yeah.
Sacramento?
Whatever you want to call them.
Just the Athletics?
Yeah.
All right, so let's get started with this show. All right. Abdul Carter, number 3 overall. I like that. Jackson Dart, he went 25th.
Yep. Trade up with Houston.
So we got the quarterback of the future, and I really like that move. I like Jackson Dart. And I want to get into Shador a little bit because he's fallen. And I'm not surprised that he fell. Now, again, this is a pre-recorded episode, so I'm not sure where he went as we're doing this episode. But the only reason why Shador Sanders is this big prospect is because his dad is Dion. I don't think he's that special. So I'm glad the Giants stayed away. And a lot of people are getting into that conversation. Oh, the Giants don't draft black quarterbacks. Stop with the race thing. I'd rather have someone that's good than Shador. Because Shador, he could be good, but his dad is Dion. He's coming in with the ego. He's coming in thinking he's the best thing ever. And that's just how I feel about it. Jackson Dart, humble kid, went to Ole Miss, and I think he's going to be a great player. How are you feeling about Jackson?
I think it should be interesting. Did you see that story with Gruden?
Oh, Gruden's quarterback camp, whatever it's called?
Yeah, well, his snap count or something that's just him clapping.
Yeah, I think his first one is, and then his other one is.
I think, like you said, though, it's a lot better than taking Shador. Like,
yeah,
if you look at
Shador's a distraction, and it's like the whole Bronny James thing all over again. The only reason why Bronny's in the NBA is because his dad is LeBron James. Other than that, Bronny should be nowhere near the NBA.
I agree with that. Like, he barely played his 1 year at USC.
Yeah, and he gets drafted. Come on.
And then he trying to go to Australia if someone besides the Lakers drafted him.
I think so.
That's ridiculous, I think.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't want to talk about like the whole racism thing. It has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Giants wanted Dart from the beginning. And I also heard reports that Shador's interviews with the Browns and the Giants didn't go well. So, and, you know, I think Russell Wilson's going to be a huge improvement for the Giants. I'm glad they're not throwing Dart in there right away. And a lot of, because they could develop him, Dable could develop his own guy rather than coming in and Daniel Jones is already there. Dart could throw the ball deep, and when you have guys like Slayton, you have neighbors, he's going to have success. O-line is improving. Our defense is probably the best defense in the league. You know, everyone's like, oh, how many more defensive guys do you have? Well, the defensive guys won our Super Bowls.
I agree. I saw so much, like, comparing the 07, 2011 Giants.
Yeah, that was great defense. Come on,
when they were looking to draft Carter.
Umanora, Pierre-Paul, great defense. R.W. McCord. So the Giants had great defenses, and their defense is still the same way. So I'm happy with the way the Giants are going. But it's just I don't want to hear that BS. Oh, racism. No, they don't draft black quarterbacks. No, come on, we're not going to have that conversation. That has nothing to do with it. But yeah, if you're just joining us, it's Dougie, Giordano. We're in Texas right now. This is a pre-recorded episode, so we hope you're listening. Hope you're watching. But yeah, it's just the future's bright for New York. And I think Russell Wilson can improve this team by a lot. I think they could win like 8-9 games. That will at least keep Dable and Schoen's job, or Shane, however you say his last name. So yeah, Giants got their quarterback of the future, their franchise guy, Abdul Carter on defense, to pair him up with Burns, Kayvon, Dexy. So the Giants have a great defense. I can't complain about their defense.
You really can't.
You can't.
Probably the best they've had up front since the Super Bowl runs.
I agree. But yeah, if you're just joining us, Dougie Gio, it's good. I do my shows consistently, once a week. Even if I'm on vacation, I want to try and pre-record it. But I think this is going to be the last episode before the summer, and then we're changing the show up to like current events. We're going to try and get guests on, talk politics, talk religion, talk all this stuff throughout the world. What happens on a day-by-day basis whenever I have time to do an episode. John over here is the host. I should say the host of, not co-host of the JMB podcast, because Brandon's never around.
Never.
What's with you guys when you try and do your shows? Because it's like very inconsistent, and there's like no outline to it.
Yeah, like whenever we try to schedule it, he'll just say like last minute, can we do it an hour night?
See, but that's not professionalism.
Yeah.
That's why we got our own. That's why I'm glad you come on. And you never notice when I'm on the show, it's basically my show because I'm answering all the questions. I'm asking him questions, asking you questions, because he has no lead to it. And I'm like, Brandon, come on.
Yeah, he's basically like a rookie. Even though, how many years have me and him done it now? 3?
Quite a few.
Even with that little break we took?
Yeah, 2 years worth.
Well, when you get busy, you can't really make time.
Yeah, but you and I are busy. We still find ways to do a show.
Yeah.
Come on, we did one forever. In season 7, you and I did one almost every week. Remember we did it on Mondays, like 1, 2, 3 o'clock?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. But that's Brandon.
I think we even did one in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we did do one in Seattle.
Did we do one in Tampa?
I don't think so. But maybe Texas, while we're there, we could try and do one. But
With our nice suite that we will be having.
yeah, because Brandon will show up again. Andrew's going to show up again.
I hear I got us the corner room.
Yeah, the corner room for Andrew. But the one disappointment that I have about this trip that we're currently on, because this episode's pre-recorded, and if you're watching, we're not actually doing the show live. I wish there was a Dallas Wings game so I could see Paige Beckers. And I wish there was a Dallas Stars playoff hockey game.
Unfortunately, when we will be going home, that would be set up for Game 7.
Yeah, too bad we didn't take that day off.
Yeah.
And we stayed there.
Oh, well.
Always next time. We do these trips, like every 2 years?
Something like that.
2023. Tampa was what?
23 and
Seattle. Seattle was 22. Tampa was 23. We didn't do one last year, and we're doing one this year.
Maybe we'll do another one next year.
Yeah, we should do one.
But centered around the Mets.
Yeah, because we were going to do Mets in St. Louis.
Yeah.
But I've been to St. Louis for a hockey game. It's all right. There's not much to really do. Texas, we could tour the city.
Yeah.
I want to get some Paige Beckers gear, some Dallas Wings gear. So it's going to be a fun trip. I can't wait to. Well, technically, we're already there because this show's pre-recorded.
Yes.
So if you guys are sending me questions, thoughts, and I'm not answering, that's why. But let's talk about the New York Mets, because the New York Mets are really carrying momentum from last year. Oh, my God. As of now, when the episode is recording, they are 18-7. I think they're like 12-1 on home field. Pete Alonso is really stepping up. I'm glad he returned. You could tell that he loves being a New York Met, that he wants to be a New York Met for life. Like that's pretty awesome that he's a Met.
It really is, Doug. I even saw me and Jarkmo went to game Saturday against St. Louis. He had a second deck home run.
That was a blast.
Yeah.
That was a bomb. Juan Soto, he's having his struggles, but he'll find his way.
Yeah.
15 more years to go.
Yeah.
Frankie Lindor's playing like the captain that he should be named. Mark Vientos needs to step up a little bit. The Mets, they don't have Frankie Alvarez. They don't have Sharman Minea. They're really performing well, this Mets team, and they got to keep up this momentum if they want to run away with that division. Atlanta's going to find their way back. Don't discredit Atlanta. They may be 10-14, but they're going to come back. Philly, they could be inconsistent. I don't think they're going to be a threat. I hate to say it, Dan Placco, but the Phillies, they're not going to be a threat. Nationals, you don't got to worry about them. Marlins, you don't got to worry about them. NL Central, who's really going to come out of there? Maybe the Cubs, Brewers, I don't know. But if you look at the NL West, you got the Padres, you have the Dodgers, maybe the Diamondbacks. Giants are playing good baseball. So realistically, the Mets, depending how the seeding is, the Mets should be in the NLCS this year against either the Dodgers or the Padres or the Giants. Because no one's coming out from the Central, and who knows is going to come out from the NL East besides the Mets. So this is the Mets division to lose. Carlos Mendoza, I call him Mendy, could win Manager of the Year. I think he will. The Mets could have Lindor up for MVP. If Alonso continues his stride, he could be MVP. So the Mets, they are looking like a World Series contender.
I agree with that, Doug.
They're looking like a World Series contender.
Even though, as of the recording, they're expecting both Alvarez and McNeil back for their series with Washington.
Who knows? When this episode drops, they may be back.
I believe they are both expected to be activated for the Friday night game in D.C.
And that was last week? Or when is that?
Starting the 25th of April.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's tonight.
Yeah.
All right, so by the time this episode drops, Alvy and McNeil could be back.
And Mania probably in a few weeks.
Not bad. There's a big weekend series coming up. Mets, Yankees. Soto returns to Citi Field. But I can't wait to see that Met-Dodger series. The Met fans have been showing up. They've been packed at Citi Field. Like, this is playoff baseball in April. They're playing like the best team in baseball. For real. They're really carrying the momentum. What Candelita Jose Iglesias brought to that Mets locker room, that Mets clubhouse, isn't going away. Even though he's in San Diego, this Mets team has changed their culture since he became a Met. And they are playing phenomenal baseball. Great coaching staff. Great ownership from Stevie Cohen. The Mets are going to win a World Series in his era as team owner. No doubt about it. Again, if you're just joining us, it's Dougie and John Giordano. This episode is dropping today, which is May 1st, while we're in Texas. So this ain't your typical live show. If you're sending us thoughts, sending us questions, and I'm not getting to them, that's why. This is a pre-recorded episode. Johnny Boy, we're going to Devil Hurricane Game 3 of the playoffs. I believe they'll win, so I'm looking forward to that game. Again, this is a pre-recorded episode, so if you think, oh, why are we talking about Devil Hurricanes Game 3? Because it happened last week, but we're pre-recording this episode tonight. For tonight. John, you got any thoughts, any comments you want to add to this conversation?
I don't think so, Doug.
2 weeks, the schedule drops for the NFL, I think May 14th. So we'll see what game we can get to this year. I definitely want to get to a Giants game. I finally want to see Russell Wilson play football. I want to see Patrick Mahomes play football, so we'll see when that game is. Who knows? Maybe it's a Christmas Day game, and I'm going to have to go there. Or even Christmas Eve. I don't mind. As long as it's not midnight mass and I'm not reading. But, yeah, Johnny Boy, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. You got to be more talkative, though. You're Italian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're supposed to talk more. Come on.
I do have one thing to tell you, Doug. With the whole thing with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, let's hear it.
I like you're going to have Jackson Dart sit behind at least him for this year, and maybe him and Winston will figure it out next year.
Yeah.
Since remember we have
Yeah, it's got to be
Winston.
Wilson, Dart. Wilson's out the door after this year.
And then maybe like last couple of weeks, if just say you lock up a playoff spot.
Yeah, then you put in Winston or you put in Dart.
Yeah, especially week 18. Like if that game means nothing.
Yeah, or if they're not in the playoff spot, have Dart start or have Winston start.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to this year. Like, I'm excited for it.
I like having the veteran presence
Mhm.
in any sport when you have someone young.
Like, this ain't Daniel Jones 2.0 like I'm seeing people talk about. Like,
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, like, at least Dart, he don't mind the pressure. Jones folds under it, and he'll throw, like, a stupid pass and leads to an interception.
Mm-hmm.
Dart, you've seen his highlights. He lets them hit him, but at the same time, you don't want to get hurt. So I think the only thing that Dart has to do is learn how to throw the ball away and not be too aggressive.
Yeah.
So that's just my thoughts on it. But other than that, I can't complain about the Giants draft a week ago. Abdul Carter, Jackson Dart, future's bright in New York. It really is. Let's see what happens this year.
Mm-hmm.
Am I expecting playoffs? No, but if they make it, that would be great. Like if Russell Wilson somehow leads us to the playoffs, thank you, Russell. And then you put Jackson Dart in either next year. He probably will start next year, Jackson Dart. I don't see Winston starting unless you want him in there for a few games so Dart could learn from Winston. But other than that, I think he's just there for insurance purposes. I do not understand why. Yeah, Winston's not going to play. I don't see him being the guy that plays. I just think he's there for a clubhouse, the locker room, the culture, and just to be a good teammate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think Winston may see playing time. He may see it next year, but I think Dart is the guy next year. I truly do. Dart is learning from two veterans. Daniel Jones learned from Eli for, 2 games, and then you put in Daniel Jones? So it's just a matter of time, Johnny boy. It really is.
I agree. The problem with Jones, Eli was already basically holding on for dear life.
Yeah, Eli was 38? He retired at 39, so
Something
it's
like
not like he was able to learn from Eli. You
Yeah.
can in some senses, but at the same time, there's a difference between sitting behind a full season than getting thrown in there halfway.
Yeah.
Not even halfway, a quarter.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, though.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely is a promising time for this team. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see, definitely for sure. But yeah, I'm not surprised that Shador fell. Like I said, he's not the guy. He just isn't.
Mhm.
He's only there because he's a great quarterback, good quarterback. But if he got sacked a lot, doesn't really he holds on to the ball too much, and you can't do that in the NFL. So I can't complain. Everyone's like, "Oh, we should have gotten Shador." No, he's there. He's there because his dad is Deion Sanders.
Mhm.
It's like the whole Bronny thing. I know I said that earlier in the show, but it's like the whole Bronny thing.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. You had Tim Tebow, great college quarterback, and he stunk it up in the NFL. Like, I'm not surprised that he did, because a lot of left-handed quarterbacks don't make it in the NFL besides Steve Young. I mean, Mike Vick had a good career till he got into trouble. Tua's been all right, but he gets hurt a lot, so
Yeah.
I can't really just complain. I mean, I don't get why people are complaining about this draft pick, Jackson Dart. I like it. I can't complain about it. I can't complain about it. I really can't.
Yeah. Maybe they could wait until day 2, get him and hold on to the multiple picks they gave up.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, the draft already happened while this episode's dropping, but I think we dodged a bullet with Shador just because I don't think he could be that franchise guy. That's why when they said Abdul Carter at number 3, I was like, okay, good. And I didn't really want Jackson Dart to go at number 3. Like the way they were talking about it, and then they started saying Abdul Carter's a giant, because the way they draft, I was like, do they take Dart at 3 just to take him? and then they ended up taking him at 25. So that was the positive for me. Again, before we wrap up, it's Dougie, it's Gio. This episode's pre-recorded, so if you're sending in your questions, sending in your thoughts, and we didn't get to it, that's why. But, Johnny, before we wrap up, you got any final thoughts, any predictions for whether it's the Giants, the Mets, maybe the Islanders, since Lou Lamoriello's basically heading to retirement unless the team picks him up? What do you got for us, John?
I think, not even involving any teams, with the whole thing with Shador, I think earliest he'll get taken third round.
Makes sense.
Some team needing a quarterback will take him at some point.
Could be. Everyone's saying he was going to go first to Cleveland, but
Yeah.
I don't see it. They have Watson, they have Pickett, they got Flacco, so it's like, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Have 4 quarterbacks on the roster? Technically 3 because Watson,
He's out for the year.
yeah, he's out. So, but still, I wouldn't take Shador. Develop Kenny Pickett. He was supposed to be a good quarterback for the Steelers, but it didn't work out. So,
Jersey kid.
yeah, if I was Cleveland, I would develop Pickett. That's what I would do.
I like that idea, considering they're probably not going anywhere.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere. Like, that's what I would do. Especially in that division. You got the Ravens, you got the Bengals, you got the Steelers. But I think the Steelers do take a fall. I think they're an overrated team. Everyone talks about, oh, they got a winning record every year.
Yeah.
Congratulations. What do they do with it? Do they win a Super Bowl? No. They haven't won a playoff game in, 10 years, 10 seasons? Enough with that winning record.
Since Big Ben was there.
Yeah, because you got to have one of the best records and losing the first round. It means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Giants will win a Super Bowl before the Steelers win another playoff game. That's just my thoughts. Like, they're not going to...
Yeah.
Because I think the Steelers will end up going... I think the Steelers are going to have a losing season this year. I truly do. I know Justy's going to be mad, but I truly believe it.
I agree. I don't even know. Who's your
They're going to have
quarterback
a
now?
Right now, Mason Rudolph. So have fun.
Yeah. And Rodgers is still, we all know.
Rodgers is, like, selfish. He's egotistic. He wants everything to be about him.
Yeah.
Just have your own podcast. Be a co-host on Pat McAfee, because that's what he loves to do. Football-wise, I really don't care for Rodgers. Politically, I love Rodgers. I love how one day he was like, everyone that likes to criticize me, show your pronouns, show your vax status, and then I'll know who to validate opinions on me. And I thought that was funny. Because like the whole pronoun thing, I find it funny. It's like, I don't need to be told what to call you. Like he, they, she, her.
Yeah.
Like John, I know you're a he.
Yeah.
Do you have pronouns? Or you don't care?
I don't care.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, don't shove it down my face. Like, if I know what you look like, that's what I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
Like, call me Dougie Fresh. Like, I mean, to each its own. If you want to be called something particular, go for it. I like to troll. I like to make jokes. So, if you have a pronoun, it don't affect me. It's not the end of the world. But I just find it funny. I just find you gotta look at the light at things. Like, it may not make sense to you, but you gotta laugh. You gotta be funny. Like you know me, John. I like to troll people.
Yeah.
Like half of this stuff I do, it's an act. Like politically,
Especially toward a certain person.
yeah, Brandon.
Yeah.
Like politically, I'm in the middle of certain things. Like people are like, oh, he's a Trumpy, he's a MAGA cult guy. No, I like Trump. I agree with him on a lot of things, but I'm down the middle. Now I know how you feel about Trump.
Yes, we've been over this, Douglas.
Yeah, tell us about your favorite president.
We don't need to go that far.
Oh, he's not your favorite.
Nope.
Oh, you voted for who? Biden?
That's confidential.
Confidential. All right, John. I see what it is.
Did you like Brandon's reasons for not coming on this trip?
Yeah, what are they?
I actually don't know.
I don't know, honestly. First, it was I can't take off. See, but it's weird, and we're going to wrap up after this. We told him. We said, we're going to Texas. Or he said, you were like, let's go to St. Louis or something.
Yeah.
You're like, no, Texas it is. I said, guys, let's just do Texas. I've been to St. Louis, this or that. He's like, all right, cool. Then we went to what's this called, and maybe I could put the clip in after. I could edit it and show the clip. You know, maybe I should put it in the clip because we were talking about it. We could show Brandon's point of view after this episode. Guys, watch what Brandon had to say. Well, he was like, "Oh, I didn't know you guys were actually going. I thought you guys were joking." I'm like, Brandon, how many excuses are you going to make?
In the span like 1 week.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, let's go to Miami." He's like, "Oh, I thought you guys were joking." I'm like, come on. But that's our friend Brandon. We got to deal with it.
Yeah.
What can I say? So, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Doug Saravo Show, which is brought to you by our good friends at Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. I'll see you guys next time. If I don't see you next time, that means, the Doug Saravo Sports Talk, Dougie's Sports Talk won't happen until September when the NFL is back. Other than that, you can catch me on some religious shows and some politics that John's going to make his debut on.
Whatever you say, Dougie.
See everybody next time.
But to go and react from a fiscal standpoint and from a civil rights standpoint to close everything, I find it hard to get behind.
Democrats. Thanks to Democrats. Thanks to the Democrats, by the way.
Nancy Pelosi should not be 84 years old and still be sitting as the House Speaker.
Like an idiot.
I'm an idiot.
Actually, can get in there and do things, like Donald Trump Jr.
Puerto Rican. You're Latino.
I'm an American.
I would like Ivanka to run.
Yeah, or Tulsi Gabbard.
I think when it comes to these vacations, I don't think you really want to go.
I do. It's just whether I'm around or not.
First, Seattle. Well, Seattle, we understand.
It's not a question of
Tampa.
do I want to go on the trip. Do you want me to go on the trip?
This whole time we were saying we're booking it.
Right, I see what you're saying.
And I texted you guys. I booked the hotel.
And
Right.
today you say, what did you say today?
I said, let's go to Florida.
No. You said.
See how it progresses.
No, this is what you said. He booked the hotel? I thought we were doing that after. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I didn't see. I thought he didn't book a hotel. I didn't see that.
You're
So
about
that's
a
on
week
me.
late on that one, Brandon.
Yeah, I haven't been checking the group
You're
chat,
a week
chats
late.
lately. So. Yeah, that's on me. I do apologize about that.
So it's like, are you going to Texas?
I want to go because I want to see the new stadium. So I would definitely be.
That's what I want to know. Like, what are you doing?
Well, I told you guys, you make your own arrangements, and then I'll
John,
make
it's
them-
just going to be you and I.
Yeah, I think
then-
so, Doug.
and then I will book it I will book it next week.
I think I have to change our hotel accommodation.
No, we can stay. I'll pay extra to have this week.
All right.
And a question: is Andrew going to go?
I think it's just going to be John and I.
What about? Oh, he might be in the corner.
No, I think it's just John and I this time.
Round
Again,
3.
Round 3. First, Seattle. He did not show up. Tampa.
I think he was invited to that.
I want. Well, no, that was when.
What about Charleston? You didn't do that one either.
Neither
yeah.
did I.
Yeah. I heard Charleston's nice. Did you have a
Yeah.
good time there?
It was great.
Did Andrew sit in the corner?
He
Andrew,
did.
if you're listening to the show, I love you, buddy. We're just joking around.
How are we joking around when it's true?
Oh, okay.
How are we joking around when it's true? Yeah,
Yeah.
for real, how are we joking around when it's true?
Well, no, I didn't want him to think like we were like roasting him or anything.
No, he says that to me all the time.
Okay,
He's
good.
like very funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not trying to be funny. It's true though.
Yeah. But I will definitely go on a trip with you guys someday. Whether it's this
Someday.
one. No, I would love to do a cruise. Like you always go on these cruises. I would love to go on a cruise.
Yeah.
Cruises are fun. I haven't been on a cruise since 2019. It's been a long time.
See, but yeah, this is what we're trying to do with our shows now, as you could tell. It's a totally different type of show. Like, it's not your Q&A. It's like, come on, whatever you want to talk about, we BS. So it's pretty fun. I'm having a good time with this. John, any final thoughts?
It was a very interesting just with Brandon and everything with this trip.
Yeah.
But no matter what, guys, whether I go on this trip or not, I love you both. You're great. You're two great guys. I wish you all the best.
John, it's just gonna be you and I, just so you know.
Yeah,
And have fun. Well,
we'll pay a little extra for the Ranger
if you see
game.
me in Texas, don't be surprised.
But yeah, Doug, we'll spend a little extra and sit nice at the Ranger game. How's that sound?
Yeah, we can. And we wait.
What are you
for him
talking
on
about? You
TV.
got free tickets. I thought. Well, you have season tickets. So you're paying?
Wait, what?
We're talking about the Texas Rangers.
Texas Rangers. Okay, yeah.
Brandon, I think you just got yourself fired from this show again.
No, I thought you meant the Ranger Devil game on Saturday. That's what I thought. That's what I thought he was saying.
We're talking about the trip, and you just suddenly talk about the Devils.
Well, there is a Texas Rangers, and
But
there is a New York Rangers. I thought he was mentioning the Ranger game on Saturday because you're going to the Rangers Devils at Prudential Center. That's what I thought he was saying. And then I was like, I thought you, because he was like, he paid for tickets, but you have the season tickets, so that's what I was thinking.
He's a clown, Doug.
This is what we deal with.
It's roasting. This show is about roasting Brandon.
You know what I'm gonna say? What is he, Doug?
See, and this is what Brandon's gonna say after this. He's gonna take it personal. Are you?
Nope, not going to take it personal because this is what the show's about.
And then he'll go tell his dad.
I'm just confused. Are you coming on the trip? That's all I said.
I would love to come on the trip, but I just have to make sure I'm approved from taking off work, and I got to make
How
sure.
come we didn't do this like a month ago?
Because I didn't know we were going. I didn't actually take it seriously. I thought I didn't know we were actually going. But now that you guys are actually
John
going,
and I were actually going a month ago.
Yeah. And let it be said that we've changed the location about 5 times.
But yeah, I'll let you guys know next week if I book my arrangement.
John, it's just gonna be you and I.
Yeah, and then Andrew's gonna drive us to the airport again.
In the corner. We'll grab you up at the corner door.
All right, guys, let's get dinner. That was a fun show.
Yes, it was.
It really wasn't. It was a sports show, but it was a lot of comedy within it too.
Yeah, I said it's a free for all. We could have talked some politics.
Yeah,
But the best part was roasting Brandon.
John, you want to talk some politics before we go?
Not tonight. Maybe in Texas.
How's your president doing?
No comment.
Why not? Why don't you want to comment?
I don't like talking politics.
Why not? Because you don't want to be proven wrong?
Whatever you say, Doug.
He wants to be left in the corner.
So, Brandon, are you going on the trip?
As of now, yes.
John, just you and I.
All right.
I think so.
I think the audience gets the point.
Who knows? Maybe next time you'll see us on this show will be the 3 of us from Texas.
No, it'll be a virtual show of us in Texas, and he'll be at his house like Seattle.
Yes, very much so.
All right, we'll see everybody next time on the Doug Strabo Show, which is brought to you by Unsolicited Role Models, the role models you may not want, but you may just need. Brandon, John, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having us, Doug.
Thank you
Always
for
a
having us,
pleasure.
Doug.
Appreciate it.
Great time.